Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rise. I'm back here at Wesley Chapel Toyota because guess what? We have it. This is the all-new 2020 Toyota Yaris. So let's talk a little bit about the Yaris. The Yaris has been that subcompact car for people who want great A to B transportation, but also amazing reliability. Now, what's interesting is we are here at a Toyota dealership, and you'll see Toyota badges on this car, but really deep down inside, it's a Mazda 2. So if you know your Mazda nomenclatures, Mazda 2 is going to be the smallest. That's what the CX-3 sits on, that chassis, Mazda 2. Then it goes Mazda 3. This Yaris is essentially a Mazda 2. Very interesting how Toyota is choosing different manufacturers, like BMW with a Super back over there, Mazda with the Yaris, to work with to kind of spread the load out, I guess, off of Toyota's plate so that they could work on other things. Now, what's interesting is that there's no more base model with the Yaris. Also, it only comes in a hatchback. So let's go ahead, dive into this all new 2020 Toyota Yaris. Off the bat, what's distinct about the Yaris is going to be the front end of the business. So you have very, very large traditional size headlight set up on here, no LED or anything like that. Because remember, at the end of the day, this is to help with keeping that cost low, down low. I do like the actual body lines that they put into the front of the Yaris. It actually makes it look aggressive, which is kind of hard. That's a tall order for a Toyota Yaris. But as we come across the front, you have that Toyota setup with their open grille design. Now, most of this grille is hiding the bracing for crash impact, but down low it is open. I like the way that they do give you fog lamps, and I even like the extra slots that are open right near the Toyota emblem. It has some character to it for such a small car. Now, when we get up onto the hood, you can see how they took the body line from the front fascia, brought it into the hood, kept it simple, looks really, really popping in this bright silver color. We come around the bend, and what you're gonna find, this is your one and only wheel choice. This is a 16-inch wheel. I like the gunmetal gray with the silver. I think that's a good look. I'm glad that they didn't go with just silver wheels. It would have looked too much like a rental car. But basically, you have 185 on the width, 60 series on the sidewall. Now, the good news about having such a small wheel setup, it's gonna save you a lot of money when it comes to replacing these tires. Also, that large 60 series sidewall is gonna give you a nice, soft, comfortable ride rather than a super low profile rubber band. But very, very clean from the side. As we go down, you have the silver brought onto the mirrors. They even put the turn signals into the actual mirror cap. So that's a nice touch. Didn't really cheap out to really keep the price super, super low. Very nice belt line. I like the belt line. This is Mazda right here. This is Mazda design. That belt line comes up a little bit into the rear door. Very, very nice low roof. As we come into the hatchback area, not much of a roof spoiler extension, which I wish they would have just extended that out just a little bit. So that's a zonk for me when it comes to the design. And then I would have went with a clear third brake light cover there instead of the bright red. But as we come down, you have your Yaris badge, Toyota, single exhaust, nice finish exhaust on the back. And then they have these weird fake vent looking things. I wish they would have just left it off. If this would have two exhaust pipes, it actually would look pretty cool. Here's a little fun fact for you. Toyota actually races, not this generation Yaris, but the last generation, in the World Rally Championship. Could you imagine that? Tons of horsepower and all-wheel drive in such a small car. But why don't we pop the hood and see what's powering this 2020 Toyota Yaris. All right, guys, we got the hood popped on the 2020 Toyota Yaris. What you're looking at underneath that engine cover, that is gonna be a 1.5 liter naturally aspirated inline-4, only engine option, 106 horsepower, 103 pound-feet of torque. It's all mated to a 6-speed automatic transmission. Of course, it's a front-wheel drive car. Where you're really gonna be coming as a winner in your Yaris is MPGs. 32 in the city, 40 on the highway. The car weighs a feather light 2,400 pounds, if you could believe that. But don't go drag racing anybody, because 0 to 60 in about 10.3 seconds. Maybe a bicycle or somebody running on the side of the road would be good victims for drag racing. But The nice thing is you open up the hood, I could clearly see everything. That is a Mazda engine. So even though we got the Toyota badge, that's a Mazda engine cover and lots of room to see all the inner bits. But why don't we go ahead and fire up this Yaris and see what it sounds like. All right, guys, we're inside the 2020 Toyota Yaris. Sitting here in this car definitely screams Mazda. There's a lot of Mazda touches going on here because obviously it's a Mazda 2. Now, the nice thing is out there I told you would be a big winner when it comes to MPGs. That's true. You're also gonna be a winner when it comes to price. MSRP, this one has a lot of options. You're looking at $18,000. Let's see what you get for the money. To the door panels. Now, I like the way they broke up the dark material with that light gray. Where I'm gonna zonk it is I don't like the cloth material on the back portion of the door. And then there's this faux carbon fiber going on around the switch gear, which just seems out of place. I wish they would have just kept it flat black, smooth, no faux carbon fiber going on. Hard material on the dash. You can see where they cut the cost, but this is straight up Mazda. That's a Mazda AC vent. This is all Mazda across here. What I do like is look at how they integrated an extra air vent for the passenger. So they get 2 and the driver gets 2. You have your 7-inch infotainment screen, which is touch screen, but you also have the ability to use that directional drive controller to go through the different options. This is old school, but it works. AC controls, no heated seats, no ventilated seats, so very, very easy to use. You got your blower switch and all that good stuff. Lots of connectivity, which is great. So you got 2 USBs and a 12-volt. Nice cubby. There's that faux carbon fiber that just seems out of place, and it looks really, really faux. This is going to control that 6-speed automatic transmission. I like the simulated leather, the brushed aluminum. Even this brushed aluminum, like this part right here, if you kind of squint your eyes, you feel like you're in definitely a more expensive vehicle. A little bit of gloss black. You do have the sport button ability. That's going to adjust the shifting of the transmission, the parameters of the engine. There's that drive control knob that you could go through all your different settings. Volume control, good old-fashioned e-brake. You ready for this? Do you know Mazda key fobs? That's a Mazda key fob. Even though it has Toyota on it, the joint venture, this is a Mazda key fob. But you know what? It's small. Is it the sexiest of key fobs? No, but it works. 2 cup holders, no armrest. That kind of hurt. I just hit my funny bone, but no armrest. Cost cutting. I know Tom and I were debating how much does an armrest cost. I guess too much to be in a Yaris, but seats, very simple, very clean. You better have some cleaning materials because this could get a little dirty because it is light gray color, but they are soft and supportive. And you know what? Very durable. Manual controls for both passenger and driver. Lots of headroom though. I'm 6 feet tall. I got plenty. I could grow about another foot and still have plenty of headroom. But why don't you get on over to the business end? I'll show you behind the wheel of this Toyota Yaris. All right, guys, business end. You got your manual seat controls. I really feel that the seats are a perfect balance of being supportive and comfy. Steering wheel, cover this up. I'll give you one brand. What does it belong to? Yes, you're correct, Mazda, but it does have the Toyota logo, but this is a Mazda steering wheel. Very clean. It's got that rubber vinyl material. Remember, we're talking about $18,000 here, not $118,000. And then the dash setup, very clean and easy to understand. You got a speedometer in the center. Very unique digital tachometer over on the left with a gear indicator, and then you have your range, outside temperature, and fuel gauge across the bottom. Push button start, which is a nice touch on this price point, but overall very comfortable. Up here, let's see how tight the back seat is. All right, guys, back seat time in the Yaris. The opening to the door is a little tight, but you know what? Once you get in, you still have that same amount of headroom, same as the passengers up front. So that is something that Mazda really did a great job with. You have this little cubby area here, which I guess you could use as a cup holder or a snack holder. Now, if you go McDonald's small fries, you might be able to squeeze them in the side over here and then put your drink in this other area. But other than that, there's no armrest or anything like that, because remember, we're trying to cut costs, but lots of space back here. Let's get to the best part of any hatchback though. Let's check out what kind of cargo space we have in our Yaris. All right, guys, business time on a hatchback. No, it's not electric assist. You just push the button. Surprisingly, what's awesome is that there's actually a pretty good amount of room in this little tiny subcompact car. Look at how deep the floor is. What's great about that is you'll be able to get taller items. Plus, if you have like your groceries and the bags fall over, you'll be able to not have cans rolling all over the place. But those seats can do the 60-40 split, even maximize the room. And another thing that's important on a hatchback this size is look at the opening from down here to all the way up here, nice and tall, to slide those things in and out. But why don't we go ahead and get to the best part of any car drive here on Rady's Rides. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's take this Yaris for a spin. All right, guys, we're leaving Wesley Chapel Toyota. We're in the 2020 Yaris. We're pulling away. I'm gonna get on the loud pedal. 6-speed, drops down, shifts smoothly. You're not gonna be the fastest, but you know what? It does have definitely plenty of pep on the brakes. Let's see how this Yaris handles into this turn. The one thing is, being Mazda 2 based, Mazda does a great job of really engaging the driver and giving good feedback from the front end of the car. Quite a bit of body roll. Obviously this isn't meant to be a corner carver, but you are getting great feel from the steering. I do have it in sport mode, which is gonna adjust the shifts and how the engine runs, but let's go ahead and try this last little twisty section here on the brakes. Nice, great feedback. Back on the brakes. Transmission downshifts nicely. On throttle. So what's really nice about it being naturally aspirated, the torque curve is very linear. And it seems that the more the revs climb, the more the speed builds, which is really good to see. You don't want just an engine just screaming all over the place and you're not going anywhere. The thing that I'm very, very happy about is that because this is Mazda based, no CVT. So thank you, Toyota, for not telling anybody to put a CVT in here. I'm glad that it does not have that. That 6-speed though does the business for this little car. And comfort-wise, I feel really, really good behind the wheel of this Yaris. Let's go ahead and see how the highway noises as we go down this stretch of highway over here to give a really good feel overall. But visibility is great. I don't feel like I'm in a super small car, which is nice. But back on throttle. Transmission shifts smooth. It's got that normal 4-cylinder sound, but it's not buzzy. The car doesn't vibrate, which is great. Mirrors are good. Very, very smooth. So here we are around 65 miles an hour, and you are getting a little bit of wind noise, but nothing too crazy, nothing that I've heard. You know, there's a lot of expensive cars that we've driven, more expensive than this for sure, that have had way more wind noise. So it's actually not too bad. Easy to get to that infotainment screen, and if you're looking for maximum MPGs, to get over 30 in the city and 40 on the highway, very, very commendable. But overall, I'm actually quite impressed with this Yaris. Keeping it apples to apples. Are we going to compare this to a C8 Corvette? No, of course not. Even though I'm sure some people are going to put in the comment section, I'd rather just go get a C8 Corvette. But other than that, from a reliability, from a budget standpoint, if you need a car where you got to rack on a ton of miles and you don't want the car to be in the shop very often, I think this would be a great avenue to go that route. Maybe you're a first-time car buyer, you're new to the car scene, this may be good for you. But lots of different lifestyles that this could fit. But we're gonna go ahead, wrap this one up, and get back to Wesley Chapel Toyota. So I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, been another great day here at Wesley Chapel Toyota. Definitely got to thank everybody here, Jeff, Ryan, Scooter, for getting us access to this Yaris. Hey, if you need good, cheap, reliable transportation A to B with some usable space on the interior, this might be right up your alley. And it's just nice for manufacturers to keep the variety open and not make all cars cost $50,000. But if these are the types of things you want to see on Rady's Rides, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Rady's Rides family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you on the channel, click the link in the description, get yourself some Rady's Rides merch. Got to give it up to Big Guns McGee. He actually was not able to come for the ride along on this one because his arms are so big. So it was either separate his arms from his body or he sit this one out. So thank you, Tom, for taking one for the team. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.